Hello everyone. So in this particular video, we'll be actually answering one of the questions that was asked by one of our users. So Rishi had asked, what are AI agents? And he said then that they are slowly gaining importance, but not a lot of tutorials on YouTube. Okay. So obviously I will not be going into, let's say, a complete tutorial because it's going to be it will be basically based on the concept of transformers. Okay, so which I have not gone and into in this particular channel, and the reason for that is we still have to cover something called as attention. Okay, so I know we have to cover a lot of things, but today I am going to give you a basic understanding of what AI agents are. Now, for understanding AI agents, you need to understand what is an LLM. Okay, so large language model. So at least I assume that you know the structure of transformer. So in a transformer, basically, so there is a stack of something called as encoder, and there's a stack of something called as decoders, right? And then there is cross attention over here, there is self attention over here, and there is self attention over here. Okay, here is the input, and here we have something called as masked input. Now, and from here we have the real predictions. When it comes to something like a LLM, on which logic the chat GPT and the GPT is basically, okay, so generative pre-trained models that are made, is that we totally forget the encoder. We only use the decoder. Okay, so we will take decoder over here, and what we will do is basically we will try to do the next word prediction. So for example, if you have a sentence hello and then comma how are, and then there is a dash, I'm sure most of you can guess that the word in the dash will be hello, how are you? Okay. So how did you get this? Because obviously we are humans, we are used to these kind of sentences. However, when it comes to deep learning models, these are trained on the decoder through something called as I said, next word prediction. So the decoder will get these three words as input, and it has to predict the last word. And we are going to do this for GBs and GBs, or sometimes, some of the times you also have TBs and PBs, that is petabytes of data. Okay, so there is so much of data that is being used to train these models. These models have billions of parameters. So let's say 300 billion parameters, or sometimes even there was a model called Gopher. It had over 1 trillion parameters. So they are very large language models. Okay. So what are AI agents? Now, in order to understand AI agents, now since you have understood LLM, the LLM is, let's say, succeeded by AI agents. Now, what is AI agent? It definitely uses LLM, but in a way that it gives you more power. So for example, what can an LLM do? It can summarize, right? It can write emails for you. However, it does not have the powers of, let's say, it does not have a database on its own. It cannot search Google or any other search engine. It cannot, let's say, do calculations, as in it does not have a pre-built calculator. Yes, you can ask what is 2 plus 2, but it will still answer it in a form of, let's say, knowledge that is gained inside the LLM. It cannot do its own calculation. Okay, it cannot put it in a calculator and then get a right answer, which means if, let's say, you said what is 2 plus 2, it might come up with, let's say, 22, even though this answer is wrong. But since it is a LLM, it does not have a calculator. However, if you add a calculator to it, you will have 2 plus 2 equal to false. 2 plus 2 equal to 4, and this is guaranteed. Okay, so this is the difference. Here the answer is guaranteed, here the answer can be wrong, and we all know that LLMs can make mistake. There is hallucinations, and there is so many problems that occur with LLMs. So what is agent? Basically, it is LLM plus calculator plus, let's say, weather forecast, some services there through an API. Okay, plus it has Google search engine. So you know that to say your Bing is used with Copilot. So Copilot is basically your LLM, and Bing is giving it the power of search. Okay, and then there are so many things it can use, and there is also database, which means, let's say, this LLM knows who you are. It knows whether you are a student, it knows whether you are a male or a female, or so basically it is LLM plus all these capabilities. Okay, this is what makes it an agent, AI agent. Now, what does it do? It can do a lot of things. It can do, as I said, it can, let's say, you can ask it, book a ticket to, let's say, you want to go to, let's say, any place. You want to go to New York City. Okay, NYC, you want to go to New York City. Now for doing this particular thing, what it needs to know, it needs to know search engine, whether there are flights from, let's say you want to go from let's say Moscow to NYC. It needs to have the data of what flights are there, okay, whether what time it will take. It will also tell you that okay, you need to have this much amount of money, you might need food because it's going to be whatever 15 to 20 hours of flight. So extra things it need to calculate. Okay, you want the tickets for two people, then what is the cost of one, that is let's say $1,000. Okay, then for two it is going to do a calculation and give you the answer $2,000. So you need a calculator, you need a search engine to basically find out what flights are there. Okay, and you also need to know whether the LLM also needs to know whether there are let's say you have holidays or not, because let's say you are working in a company, and it depends whether you have the holidays or you don't have the holidays, whether you can ask for a leave or you have already taken those leaves. So basically what I want to say is that obviously these things will be done by an LLM because it needs to interact. However, giving it extra capabilities is what is making these things as agents. So I hope you understood. It's LLM. So again, it's LLM plus capabilities. That is your AI agents. In fact, I have already made a video on this particular channel on AI agents. It's an old video, definitely. It's more than a year now. So it is not something that has just come up. It has been there for years. I'll not say years, but at least more than a year. Okay. So I remember it was based on Hugging Face. We were using some kind of an API for, we used OpenAI API for, the LLM, and it also had capabilities, and these things are being used everywhere. So you might have seen, an LLM is also able to generate images. How it is able to do that? It basically has an LLM, and I'll have to make another video how diffusion works using UNet and all those things. But so all in all, just to answer the question, it's an LLM with certain capabilities along with it. Okay, so I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please subscribe. Thank you very much, and bye.